So, today I am filming the old lady in the bathtub scene from The Shining. I love this scene. I think it's brilliant. I think the makeup from the original film, which I think was done late 70s. But anyway, I think that makeup is iconic and brilliant. Just filmed the first shot of me looking young-ish and pretty-ish in the bath. Kindly filmed by my housemate, which was rather amusing, and the bath was very cold. Yeah, so now I'm going to start the old lady bit of the makeup. This is quite an involved makeup. It takes quite a while. It's well worth doing because it's really, really effective once done. And it's a technique that I learned when I was doing my special effects makeup degree. Here we go, I'm going to put my music on, as always. 80s, obviously. Mirror would help. Here is a picture of the old lady, and first of all I just need to take off my young person makeup, and now I'm taking a matte sort of greyish taupey coloured eyeshadow. Just use any colour which is in the natural shadows in your face, and I'm just starting to sketch out where the wrinkles would naturally be with a fine brush and just blending that out really, really well. You want to create sort of realistic looking shadows, but go a little bit darker than you would if you were doing, say, an old age theatrical makeup, because you will be putting a lot of latex and other stuff over the top. So basically you just need to sketch where your natural wrinkles would be. So obviously everybody's face is different. This is where mine will be in the not too distant future. So make sure the lines are quite fine so that when you blend they're not too muddy. It's very easy for a look like this to go very muddy, so be careful there. Right, so now a few points to bear in mind. Ensure that your shadow is matte, otherwise you'll have sparkly shadows and that won't look natural. Also make sure you use some kind of reference, collect a few pictures of old ladies off the internet. Don't just go around taking pictures of random old ladies or you might end up getting yourself into trouble. And I'm just speeding this footage up now because there's a lot of wrinkle drawing going on and you don't want to watch the whole lot in real time, because this whole makeup took me about 2 hours to do. Now just taking a deeper dark brown eyeshadow, again matte. I'm just deepening all the wrinkles that I've already drawn with the lighter taupey grey colour, and once I've drawn those in I'll then be blending them out the same as before. You may also have noticed that I've also kind of hollowed out my collarbone a little bit as well, just to make me look sort of skinny and more old lady-ish, and just hollowing out my cheekbones for the same reason. After gluing down my eyebrows, I'm now just taking a light coloured grease paint. As you get older, your lips lose volume and also colour, so you just want to blank out the natural colour to make them look a bit thinner. Powder over that too. Now taking a yellow, pink and white acrylic paint to create a flesh tone to paint over the brows. I prefer to use acrylic paint here because it will dry and won't rub off. Now run some conditioner through your hairline just to protect from the latex. I'm using a flesh toned latex just because it blends a little better with the skin, but you can use a normal coloured latex if you prefer. Now just taking a sponge and stippling that onto my face whilst holding it taut. This is important as when you let go it will wrinkle up and create a really, really nice effect. So make sure you put a very thin layer on and dry that with a hairdryer thoroughly, and then push it and make some funny faces and it will start to wrinkle up. You will make some very odd faces while you're doing this makeup, so just be warned about that. And then just putting a second layer on. You can put as many layers on as you want really, but I found that a couple of layers were enough to give me the effect I wanted, and if you put too many layers on it can start to look a bit too fake and rubbery, so just be aware of that. Latex tends to kind of stick to itself unless it's powdered, but that actually helps you out in this case, because any areas of your face where there is a natural crease, it will kind of stick together and just make you look really nice and old. So just speeding that up like I did with the shading portion, because again this bit took a very long time and you don't want to watch it all in real time, trust me. And yeah, told you about the funny faces, didn't I? Be careful when working around your eyes, there's ammonia in latex and it does sting a little bit, so just be very careful. And then just powder to remove the shine that you get on latex. Now take a tan, brown, matte eyeshadow or bronzer and mix it with a little bit of water. This is to create some age spots, so you just want to dab them on in a random fashion and then blend with your finger. You can use alcohol paints for this if you have some. I used to have some and I've lost them, which I'm really annoyed about because they're really expensive. So in the absence of alcohol paints, mixing in eyeshadow with water is a good substitute. It's just not as hard wearing, but it creates the same effects because it creates sort of translucent layers, which is what you want. So now I'm just taking a green eyeshadow and doing the same thing just to add some areas of decay, and then just working those areas of decay down onto the rest of my body just to make me look all sort of old and decayed and nasty. And also around my eyes just to really deepen in there. Another thing you could use in the absence of alcohol paints, or if you didn't want to use eyeshadow, you could use thin washes of acrylic paint. Just make sure it's a non-toxic acrylic paint because you don't want toxic stuff on your skin. Now just taking some BB cream and working that onto areas just to fade back the shading and the detail that we've put on there. This just makes it look a bit more realistic, so it looks like it's under the skin rather than on top. And now I'm just creating the areas of decay on the old lady's body that you can see in the reference picture. Just using some cotton wool to create the edges of the decay. Just very thin wisps of cotton wool stuck down with some liquid latex. And then sticking a little bit of cotton wool into the centre just to create a little bit of texture inside that decayed area. Once you're happy with how that looks, you just need to cover the whole lot in latex using either your finger or a cotton bud or a sponge. Just creating a little bit more texture in there because I didn't feel that there was enough. You can never have too much texture in your decayed areas. And now just repeating the same process on my arm. Now taking some water-based paints, a dark red, a tan colour, a green and a blue, mixing those together and then just starting to paint some areas of decay onto the body because at the moment it's looking a bit too nice and young. Just blending that with a sponge and working my way all over any areas that will be exposed. And then just taking some yellow to add some different tones in there. Taking that decay up over my face too and around my hairline. Make sure you go right back into your hairline so you're not left with a gap between your hairline and the colour on your face. Just painting that purple into those decayed areas. These areas need to be dry and not bloody because obviously she's meant to be all dead, so she wouldn't be bleeding or the wounds wouldn't look fresh. And then just taking some dark red grease paint and creating some deeper areas in those decayed areas. notice I'm only putting one special effects lens in. I actually wear a prescription lens in the other eye, and I can't afford to buy special effects prescription lenses. Now just for some finishing touches, put some conditioner through the hair to make it look all nasty, and then dry off your teeth and apply some black teeth lacquer. Dry that off and you are done. And then put some paint, melted lard and oil into your bath water to make it look all nasty, and here's the finished look. I didn't intend it to be sideways, but it was, and I think it looks quite cool. Freezing. I'll just put hot lard in there though, so that might warm up a bit. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's really cold and really gross. It's got all bits of solid lard in it. Oh god, I've got to stick my head in it now, haven't I? I'm getting my great ideas. Right. What do I look like? Do I look okay?
Yeah, I can definitely see your brow though.
Shit.
I've got to look close up on you.